I'm driving around again, traffic everywhere. People driving past each other like everybody's late for the same emergency. We're at Lakeshore. Sun hitting the water, trees are finally green. This massive pickup truck drives past me. My gosh, must cost a fortune. That's the weird thing about money now. Everybody complains about prices. Everybody stays there broke. Meanwhile, everybody's spending a fortune. And we're all walking, enjoying life, being outside. And look where we end up. We are going to a deaf fest, a festival for the deaf. People signing, booths everywhere. It feels so calm, not rushed, like stepping into a slower version of life. Hands moving everywhere, people signing naturally like an actual community. Look, there's my daughter, smiling. And suddenly the whole thing hit me differently because I stopped thinking about the event and started thinking about her, about what life probably feels like sometimes from her perspective. How exhausting the world must get sometimes. Not because it's quiet, but because it's constantly demanding attention. Everything is fighting to be noticed all at once. But there, everything felt different. People listened, like really listened. Not just hearing, but listening. People looking at each other while communicating. You could see it in the eye contact, in the facial expressions, in patience, hands talking, eyes listening, whole conversations happening without anybody rushing, without anybody fighting to be heard, just being present. You realize how rare that is now. People making space for each other naturally. No ego, no weird energy, just a connection. And the more I stood there watching everybody communicate, the more beautiful sign language started feeling. Not just as a language, but as a presence, movement, expression, emotion, everything intentional. Strangers signing while laughing. Friends reconnecting. It was a whole different way of existing in such a loud world. And maybe that's why it stayed in my head afterwards. Even after we left, this whole feeling stayed with me. The city felt loud again. People rushing everywhere. But my brain, it felt quieter somehow. Watching my daughter feel like a sense of belonging, I kept thinking, maybe that's the real luxury now. Not expensive cars, just feeling understood for a while. And driving around again, feeling downtown, streetcars humming by, the city started feeling softer somehow. And once you leave downtown, everything slows down a bit. Trees lined streets, tulips are starting to show up in people's garden again. Neighborhoods like that always feel comforting to me. Not flashy, not trying too hard, just normal life happening quietly. And after driving through congested roads, noise, people rushing everywhere, this kind of quiet hits are different. To feel calm for a second and being, this just might be enough. And off we go to a restaurant, a place that feels like home. Lahore Tikka House feels like the kind of place the city forgot how to make anymore. Places like that don't sell aesthetics, they sell familiarity. You walk in and immediately feel like life has texture again. Charcoal, butter, spices in the air. Cooks weaving their magic behind clouds of smoke and sizzling plates. Just warm, comfortable, like everybody's welcome here. The food shows up hot, fast, full of flavor. Fresh naan stacked on the table, charcoal barbecued mirchis, kebabs, basmati rice, chicken tikka still sizzling, steam rising everywhere. And for a second, the outside world disappears a little. Amidst the yummylicious food, the kind of place that makes you want to slow down, sit a little longer, order chai, forget a little. They revive you. You soak it all in. The familiarity, the sense of belonging, of missing home. You get revived. You sit by the window, watching Toronto move outside, streetcars. The whole city is still buzzing, but inside, everything feels warmer somehow. You sit there, people watching, soaking it all in, and for a little while, life feels simple again. I had to go home, rain falling, little alleyways, random blue house. Toronto finally quiets down for a minute in the rain, reflecting off the roads. Driving down QAW, the sign reminds you, yay, we are in Toronto after all. And the whole place starts looking unreal for a second, like the trailer for a movie about ambition. Still one of the most cinematic drives in the city, especially when the skyline slowly starts to show up. CN Tower, glass condos, downtown stacked up on top of itself. Every building is glowing, traffic crawling. Every time I do this drive, I end up thinking the same thing. Toronto looks calmer from far away. From a distance, the city looks futuristic, successful, organized. Then you get closer, and everybody's stressed, trying to merge lanes and pay condo rent at the same time, I guess. But still, there's something about downtown. Traffic moving at its own rhythm. Like the city never sleeps, just keeps moving, depending on the hour. And sitting in the traffic there almost feels cinematic. Music low in the background. CN Tower is floating in the distance. Everything is moving in slow motion, and you start looking up at all the condo windows, thousands of little squares glowing in the sky. Every single window got a completely different life inside it. Somebody's celebrating something, someone else is arguing. The whole emotional universe is stacked inside those buildings. People inside, glowing through fogged up windows. And honestly, streetcars might be one of the most Toronto things ever. That's what always hits me driving through downtown. Everybody looks connected, but everybody's kind of alone too. And traffic on this part of the highway, the Gardiner, it always feels philosophical somehow. Everybody's trying to get somewhere faster, but nobody's really moving, you know. That's modern life. This whole city is built on rush, pressure, deadlines, ambition. Everybody's chasing something: money, status, attention, better homes, better apartments, better jobs, better versions of themselves. And honestly, sometimes it feels exhausting. Like the city itself got anxious. But then randomly, you'll feel the magnitude of it. You know, and maybe for a few minutes, everything feels weirdly fast again, and somehow slow again. No productivity here, no fake motivation, no rise and grind nonsense, just driving, just existing for a second. These little drives probably heal people more than we realize. And eventually you'll make it home, rain still hitting the windshield softly. You're going to be thinking about the city, the people, the noise, the traffic, the Deaf Fest, the restaurant, the streetcars, all these completely different lives moving at the same time. And honestly, maybe everybody out there is just trying to feel okay, trying to find their people, trying to find one peaceful moment in the middle of all the chaos. A warm meal, a late drive, a quiet conversation. Maybe that's all this really is. Millions of people moving through the same city for a couple of hours at least, looking for a little comfort somehow, somewhere. Maybe I found mine, that little comfort.